Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. We're live on this Sunday, beautiful afternoon or good evening for some people. People from the EST that are waking up. Good morning slash good afternoon. That's the EST, PST. That's what I meant. Totally. But Sam, how you doing today? Doing good. Doing good. Are you excited?
I'm good. No complaints at the moment. Just doing some stuff for school and chilling. But
All
yeah,
right.
I'm good. How about you, man?
Doing good, doing good. You know, it's a Sunday afternoon. It's Shonen Ronins episode 27. So we're here for the new year and the new weekly issue of Shonen Jump #1 of 2022. So let's get started and people can see our beautiful faces. In the 3, in the 2, in the 1. Hey! Anime Lady fans, how you guys doing? LegendDVash is always right here, my co-partner and everything else.
SametheMangaMan, all right here.
And we're here to do 3 series today. Kaiju #8 from the Jump Plus series, and from the Weekly Shonen Jump is My Hero Academia and JJK newest chapters of today of the week of the new issue of the year 2022. Because for those that don't know,
Number
it
one.
ended off last week.
Yes, it did. And this is number one of 2022 for Japan because they end in November, end of November, and they start in the beginning of December. But definitely for sure. I'm hoping because the front cover is the My Hero Academia of Horikoshi, and we have both All Might and Deku in the front right there, giving a plus ultra.
Yeah,
And
and
definitely,
they also have a new character pool, which we'll see the lead cover pitch, which I saw on Twitter before we went live.
same.
It's like it's been posted like almost 25 times in my feed. I'm like, God damn it, people! We trying, live our lives and not see the whole shit spread out. But people are
I mean, the
excited,
polls are fine. I think the polls are fine. Number nine is our main man, Roddy Soul. We from my friend Ryan.
which
Very
props to
much
him. Like,
appreciated.
there's a
Yeah.
new character that's just been released since the summer and it got popular very well. So I love it how people really gravitate to that character already. And for those that are wondering, James, Ryan, Abe cannot make it to the show. So we guys still want to give you a show, and we want to give you from the OG duo, myself and Sam. So we want to continue the show, and hopefully we still entertain you guys without the trio or the quadruple or the five group of people. So hopefully we still entertain you. You guys are still here. Time codes will be in the bottom below for those that don't read Somerset series. So Kaiju #8 is just be straight review. Kaiju My Hero Academia will be live reaction since me and Sam hasn't read it, and then jump into review, and then GGK same type of formula. But also, question to you, to the audience and our fans and our family here on the Anime Lily slash Shonen Ronin. We also want to see if we could add another series, but also take a break with a set series, aka Black Clover. Sam doesn't read it, and we want to have a series that we could all read and discuss because it's kind of poor opportunity when one of our panelists has to dip out, and it's better when we're all here. That's one reason. Two, Black Clover has been in a stagnant state of type of discussions when we talk about it. We're not
It's
full.
in the mud.
We've
You don't need
no,
to
no, no,
glitterize it. It's in the
no,
mud.
no, it's not in the mud. It's still there, still entertaining, but it's rinse and repeat. And when we have our conversation, we want to actually give you guys full type of discussion, not just hype. Oh, cool, the type of megas are and everything. So we want to actually be there in full conversation. We will still cover Black Clover. We still haven't confirmed if we're going to do it bi-weekly or once a month. So we would love to hear you guys' opinion in the chat or down below in the comments whenever you guys watch the video, or tweet at us as well. But we know some series are new to the Jump roster, and we know some are as well old. So let us know what other series you guys want to discuss. New series would be kind of hard since Jump is known to X series out of nowhere. So if you guys want to recommend a Sakamoto Days or other series like that, please let us know.
Okay.
We still have been discussing within the group of what series we want to add to our roster. But JJK, My Hero, and Kaiju is staying. Kaiju sometimes switches on the Thursday show or today, but it depends on our mood and what we plan to discuss. And last thing, One Piece will be added, but in the second quarter of next year, once more of the team is caught up. But that's the plan for the foreseeable future. No promises. Sam, anything else you want to add before we start with Kaiju #8 discussion?
Yeah. So we'll also kind of try to do a end of the year X series. See which one was the best that we thought was actually really entertaining, but unfortunately got axed. We'll probably have like a ranking kind of thing. That might actually be on the podcast episode or maybe Shonen Ronin. We'll have to see. Hopefully, we could do it during a break where every manga is on a break, and we could
Yep.
probably do it on that following Sunday.
If I'm correct,
Um,
mangas are break for this year. I mean, for December, it's either
New
the
Year,
19th or the 26th. There'll be a break. So, because another
New
break on the
Year's.
26th or the 2nd as well for January. So, I think they've take either or. So, we just have to see which one happens and which one works with everyone's schedule as well. The best chapter or manga of the year, that'll be either in January or at end of the year as well. So, stay tuned for updates for that as well. So, watch both shows. See when you can, or if not, check out the Twitter.
Anyway, yeah, let's go straight into our Kaiju No 8 review.
Kaiju No 8. So I finally read all 5 chapters I've been behind instead of skimming through and actually read them. And I gotta say, this fight with Kaiju number 9 and with General was dope as hell. It gave a nice character, a nice layer of the character because he acknowledged that he wasn't a fully father like he promised to his wife. That he will be the father figure for his daughter, but he said that.
Mean,
He
she took her, like the father took her wife's place for being the one to train her in a way, because one parent was supposed to love her, the other parent was supposed to train her, but the mom was supposed to be training her, and the
but then
dad
she
was
passed
supposed to
away.
give her all the love. Exactly. So like, the best thing a parent can do for the child first, it has to be survival before like parental love and that sort of thing, because you're in a world where there's kaijus living here, and you want to be a soldier and fighting this. Yeah, I gotta train you how to survive more often than I have to show you like parental love and that sort of thing. And that's usually comes to that point when it comes to anime characters, manga character parents. They don't show you a love and affection, but they just want you to live, survive, like from this cruel world. And that still works. That still makes you a great parent.
But I love how in the method, in the message of chapter 51 and 50, he kept trying to remember that there's a next generation. So if this is the last fight as a general, and from here on out he just has to oversee things and everything, and he can't fight no more, he's happy with that because he saw his boy Kafka, the new person, the first division captain, and his daughter, how the strong next generation is. He felt very proud that this is his final match as him as a general and as a soldier.
I think it's like in all, because like all these death flags has been raised from previous chapters.
I don't think he died. I don't think he died.
And you literally have a whole front cover page of chapter 51 of the childhood of like literally with his wife and his child being like being parents and everything.
I get the red flag. I get it.
As well as the last panel, the last page. Yeah, he's the last one standing, but we've seen characters who died still standing and like still fight up. Remember Whitebeard? Like, yeah, he beat the enemy, but he's dying standing. He refused to go down. I think that's to give them the greatest respect ever for a character that's dying or that dies. Like, yeah, I killed my enemy. I was already willing to put everything on the line, even including my life, because I don't want this guy in the future to fight my daughter. I'm willing to okay, I'm done. I'm all done. I could die happy. My child's protected. This monster's destroyed. I can die standing.
Question. What do you think is the opposite? Instead of him dying, he got taken over by Kaiju number 9.
I mean, that'll make us hate number 9 even more. And
but
to see
it makes sense that
parasite of Kaiju number 9 is. But they can help answer the question of how come the body of number 9 is like down and Captain Asayo is still standing on top of him and stuff like that. That can happen, but we'll just need to see, because I don't know if there's a panel missing, but we were led to see that Captain Asayo like had one more punch in maybe, or another blow to number 9 to hit his core, especially when the last 2 pages there was more smoke, an explosion of some kind, and everybody just came in to check out what's damaged, what's left in there. And it is mostly possible that General Asayo's last attack finally got to the core. He finally got close enough. Number 9 thought that he died, or at least no longer able to move, so he took this opportunity to, all right, I'm taking you to my core because this core is going to be draining you. Nope, you just left yourself wide open onto even like a small minimum attack, but I'm destroying your core from this.
So I see that, but thing is, in page 17 and 16, he says, come number 2, come back to the kaiju side. But then he wraps the general, so I feel like he's gonna absorb him or eat him.
Yeah,
absorb him or eat him, or he as a parasite is gonna be like fused, just like kaiju number 8 fused with Kafka. So that's what I feel like.
No, he didn't fuse with Kafka. He fused with the other kaijus, the insect kaijus and all that.
No, but I know, but I'm saying that. But I'm saying the way kaiju number 8 went inside as a parasite inside Kafka. That's what I feel like kaiju number 9 did that to the general, and this will be something that kaiju number 9 would do, because he's a person who likes to observe, learn, and adapt. So maybe he learned from kaiju number 8 from what he did, or that as a parasite. So I feel that could be what the general got taken over by kaiju number 9.
Remember, he didn't really need the general itself. He just needed a host body. But yeah, you're right. He could absorb him and literally do like a whole Dragon Ball GT baby thing, absorb him, and like literally like he's in your body, I have control kind of sort of thing. But you know, he's more OP by himself in the physical form, because you've seen him adapt, evolve, shed, and literally a whole parasite that's too OP and like literally too OP. So I could his main weapon he really wants is kaiju number 2's like his power. He doesn't have a core anymore, but you know, I feel like every kaiju needs a core in order for them to be able to control the power of the kaijus and everything. So I think that's what number 9 was really after. I just needed his body parts because he has his power, and I'm the core that's gonna be help generating these generate number 2's power for make it my own. But I could definitely see a situation or progression of the story where General Asayo killed number 9, but also killing himself, as well as destroying number 2's power. But I don't think number 2. I think I can already see number 2 is still standing. His powers is not like dying out, especially when these kaiju's powers this point is to absorb the human, the host. Not prolonging, but declining more of your life source, your battery and everything.
But it's hard to tell, because he kept talking about in page 14. He said, "Too bad though. This is the human limit. If you had a kaiju body, I would have lost." So like he just kept talking about, "Oh, you're such a human. You cannot do more than what you could do to try to damage me." So like I have a feeling. If I'm wrong with my theory,
more his pride.
I know, but the thing is, if I'm wrong with my theory, I'm totally fine with that. But I feel like Kaiju No Man also is interested the way our boy Kafka fused with a Kaiju number 8. Maybe he's curious to see if he could fuse with a human as well, and see if he could get stronger or adapt or learn more. That's just my theory, to see what happens with the next couple of chapters with Kaiju. But who knows?
Honestly, it could be either or lifted until we have the next following chapter if Captain Asayo is still alive, if number 9 is really dead, or if number 9 possesses the captain and now he has all the power of number 9 and number 2 with its host body. There's still a lot that could go on throughout this entire series, but it's very interesting. But to see if this is actually the director Asayo's last stand in his last fight, I'm for it. I think his character is already well written enough where if you want to like remove him from the story, the game board, I'm actually okay with it. We already know his past story. We know his relationship with his daughter. We know how strong he used to be and how he is in this moment right now. It's no different from seeing the All Might versus All for One, All Might's last fight, and we've seen his last stain. Yes, All Might did not die. He didn't need to die, but his symbol lived on in spirit. When it comes to Captain Asayo, I don't mind if they do the same thing what they do with All Might, where he's still alive, but he still is the symbol of the entire kaiju elimination company's army.
Yeah, we just have to see where it leads to, because if this is last stand, like we're both on the same idea that if he doesn't get controlled by Kaiju number 9 and all that, and if he does live, this is the last stand as a soldier, as a warrior, as him, as a general, and he just retires and then somebody takes his place, or he's just a general and just oversees things. I think that's totally fine, because I like what I said in the beginning. I like what they spoke about, that the next generation he's happy for it, and this was what he envisioned, and he's very proud of it. So he saw his goal as a general. He saw his goal of what he wanted the next generation to be, and he finally got it, and he's very proud of it. So I feel like that's a mission accomplished for my guy. So I feel like that's very good for him.
So how did you feel like we knew like so they from from page 6 to 9 that was supposed to be the last shot. Remember that second shot was the whole all right, if this doesn't kill him, it's already over. But then you have number 9 coming back and saying like, yo, if you had one more attack in you, you would have won. But they technically cut out that page of where his last final punch and blow is.
By the way,
all
that
got left from that was smoke.
By the way, that double spread of page 6 and 7 and showing 8 and 9, the destruction to the other building on Cross was freaking dope. Like he literally showed the whole building, and that building just fully fucking collapsed. Like that's just like pure raw power from Kaiju number.
It's like you would see
2.
from a Godzilla movie when like Godzilla like shoot his like entire like
nuclear blast, right?
Yeah, and then it goes through the entire building, and then boom, this was exactly it.
It is dope as hell because it's exactly what you said. Like I felt like it was a Godzilla type of attack, but it literally showed was from a human to using Kaiju powers, which is dope as hell. Like it shows the brute strength of what Kaiju could do, and maybe what Kafka could do as well in the future, knowing that he learns and adapts more to his powers, more to his body overall.
Yeah, I definitely can't see it to adapt to his body. So, because if that wasn't the finishing move, there's a good chance where it's like, yeah, he probably did get possessed, or he did get Captain is dead, and number 9 is possessing him right now, this moment. Because I don't like the fact that they off-screen that last final blow. If there was gonna be a last final blow to Kaiju number 9's core.
It's awful storytelling. There has to be a reason for it, and who knows what it is? Because I can't wait to see what happens with the next chapter. Do they say next chapter 52 is coming in 4 days, so it's perfect. So I love to see that. So
actually, it's been a while since the mangaka's last break though, because remember they had like a 0.5 of all the coloring and stuff, and he probably
wants to wrap the story up and then take a break, because the last chapter we had with our break was chapter October 28.
28 was a new chapter. October 21st is when they did the 47.1. So it was like a two-week break, and after that another 2 weeks, and then technically the following week. So either you're right, they'll probably give us a new entire chapter for 52 on the 9th,
and then take a break, and they might do 2 chapters straight and then take a break and come back in the new year. So that could be the case.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a great way to end the arc before the year ends officially. So
agree.
But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this entire arc in general. The whole Kafka losing his having a strain in his ability, the extent of the vice captain, Shimiura's able to keep up and compete with the next generation to be within the future army. I like this arc. This would actually be a great contender on best arc of the year, if I were to say, for the top 10 of mangas and stuff.
Agree, same here. I will put in the same belt of that conversation. So I'm good on Kaiju number 8. I'm ready to move on to my hero reaction and see what the hell I saw or spoken about, but then I know what happened, who it was, but I kind of know who said person is.
Yeah, I'm ready to go too. I'm more wondering like I'm getting these visuals and picture, and I'm wondering if people's theories were correct last week on the internet. Besides knowing like what we know right now, with the whole invisible girl is the traitor, and All for One said like, oh, I have friends in low places and stuff like that.
Let's jump into the My Hero Academia reaction for Chapter 336, because it's going to be an interesting one. Let me open the page, because I did not open the page. I have it on my tablet, but I don't want to read it on my small tablet.
Roddy's in the front cover, but everybody has their own pet. Asao Sensei has his cat. Bakugo has a wolf.
And Deku of a goat. And Deku of a goat.
I thought it was a ram. Goat
looks like a ram. You're,
but Hogs, of course.
Ida with a horse, which makes sense. Running. Mike Master with a pigeon.
Parrot. It's a parrot.
That's a parrot. Oh, I look like a pigeon with a thing.
I thought that was a Shinsho though, but Shinsho has
a cat.
Another cat. Okay. Okay, it makes sense. A smaller cat because I saw a sensei. It's a
Yeah, it
sensei.
makes sense.
Red Riot is with
Kirishima,
the turtle.
which makes
Remember
sense
the
because the
hard
hard shell.
armor.
Yeah, the hard
And
shell. Was that that's not
Todoroki's
Panther,
with an
right?
opas as an opas. It's like a white panther kind of thing or
I
jack.
did not know about that name.
Also
And
starts with the O.
and then Roddy with his bird, which makes total sense. So this is a
Mm-hmm.
nice cover page. I like. I have to admit, Hori slept with this one, and I feel like this is one of the best cover pages. You
To
gotta admit.
start the year. It's to start the year of the winter. So
Yeah, that's true. So let's go to the first page. We have them training Endeavor tiles that build up and release stuff. But I ain't selling for just one blast. I'm seeing beads of sweat for a barrage of booms all at once. That's what powers my new cluster upgrade and gives a big boost to every move I've got. It takes a while to heat up enough though. Hence the winter costume. Overheating drains me fast, so it's a choice I gotta take. Todoroki is also trying something different. He has Aphrodite back.
okay, so
Oh,
Todoroki has like the whole fire and ice combination in his finger. Maybe he got that ninjutsu. Maybe he has a whole hand sign jutsu. Still figuring it out though. You can take your time. You know a ninjutsu technique from the hands. Go for it. I think I can control my left side as well, just as well as my right side, in order to achieve a body even dummy can't burn. Right and left, my entire body as one. Man is literally innermost chakra kind of coming together.
he
Right
really
there.
is doing it. He kind of reminds me of him doing some type of Zuko.
Chakra control kind of thing.
That too, but remember when Zuko was in North Pole and he had to concentrate his heat inside his body by doing this
Mhm.
and knowing how to breathe fire correctly. This what kind of reminds me of it. And also, Shoto in this panel in the top page of page 4 looks fucking flame. Like it looks really well done. So I gotta admit about that too.
Okay, we go back to our lightning boy. They're saying this is gonna be an all-out war or whatever, but aren't the top two bad guys kind of on the ropes now? Plus, we got Gigamakia tied down and snoozing, right? Can't we make quick work of those villains once we find them? So this is where they keep Gigamakia? But at least we got the name, chapter number 336, villains. Okay, that's an interesting way to keep Gigamakia, I guess. Having hibernation. There are 3 reasons why that ain't the case. 3 whole reasons. First, finding them all is unlikely. Sure, the good guys found the Nomu hangar, Shigaraki's hideout, and all those secret labs, but no one's ever tracked down the big bad himself ever since he lost to All Might. That's old nutsack face, world champion of hide and seek.
That's very
Reason
true. He
two.
is.
Gross, knock it off. I mean, yeah, you call him nutsack face, but yeah. Shigaraki's body wasn't even complete last time, while this time's our own forces have been to half their former numbers. Yep. And third, they're the ones with the fingers on this trigger. Even if he might have lost that search quirk in the battle against the UA, they still get to make the opening move. That's why our side's calling up every able body. We got sheer numbers will give us a chance. Also, okay, the search quirk is gone.
Yes.
So I think so. Okay, Star's quirk helped destroy the search quirk, which is very good.
It kind of works out in their flavor. If nothing else, we can choose how to enter this fight, hopefully in a way that steers in our favor. I'll better rejoin the search too. Do you mean we had better?
Yes.
You're like, oh yes, you're right. Right,
Yeah.
on that note, think I can go for a quick stroll? I don't see why not. Relations between the Hero Corps and the Vacuums have grown warmer since Uraka starting speech. Oh, shucks. I guess. Even with his back against the wall, All for One still got a grin on his face. And then we have the trees, the forest, and then we have the Invincible Girl. Ever since all the stuff in Goga and Jaco, you have been down in the dumps. I mean, we all felt that way, but still, you don't have a choice. Another's order just come in from him. Don't worry, this is just like always. Even if they intercept the message, it's in the code. They will think it's just communication between civilians. And no security cameras will catch us in this spot, right? It's fine. Just fine. I had to wonder why you haven't smiled once since Midori came back to us. I was just worried. Everything leading up to Kami, and you always put off just what All for One asked. Phil
You
now.
know that Yuga. Fail now and he'll kill us. You know that Yuga. Okay, so it is Shiny Boy. It's the
So
real
it's Shiny, but
trader.
so we were. So is it two traders or just one trader and the Invisible Girl just eavesdropping? Huh. Okay.
Oh, that was his parents that was talking to him.
Oh. Oh, that was his parents on to him. You don't have a choice. Another order just came in from him. Don't worry, there's just like always, even if they intercept the message in code, it's just communication between civilians. There's no security. Oh
Oh,
shit! And the visitor girl was eavesdropping because she probably knows about this for a while. Phil now he'll kill us, and you go, oh my god, wow, okay, his parents were involved in this. So for nearly the moment you started school here, you have honored his every request. You even provided him the forest training camp location, and nobody was ever the wiser.
oh my
Mama,
God.
Papa, but you must know we never wanted any of this, and yet it's too late to turn back. You gotta be kidding me. It can't be true. And that's when Invincible Girl finds out Aoyama all this time doesn't realize that he's the one that betrayed them the whole time. We only
Hmm.
wanted to give you a shot at happiness life. You want to be the same as the others, you guys. Yeah, because being different is scary. Yeah, no quirk to call your own. So we just wanted to help you fit in, so you could chase your dreams like the rest of them. We never would have done it if we have known how this would play out.
Wait,
We
does that mean
never
he was quirkless?
we never would have had All For One give you a quirk.
He was
Yep,
quirkless.
he was
Oh
quirkless.
shit.
He was quirky, so that's why he was in
Oh,
debt to All For One. So he had to listen to them all the time. If not, he would have killed
oh.
them.
But he would have. Oh my God, this is.
Makes sense.
All right. So
Makes sense.
internet. All right. The Twitter internet theory was able to correct for after this chat, but we're in too deep now. Now that he has this hold over us, there's no running from All For One, and he's ashamed. I gotta find everyone, a teacher, anyone. I've endured so much heartache. I've had to play my part right to avoid suspicion, always putting on a brave face to smother my guilty conscience. From when All For One was finally caught in Camino, for a moment I mistakenly let myself believe that just maybe I was free to have true friends and put an end to my acting. Oh, you get please forgive us. Forgiving your loving parents for being such fools. Mom, Pop, I only wanted to protect you. I cannot let him kill you. You get please, we're begging you.
You had to save us, Yuga Russell.
Oh
Oh shit, Deku
shit.
alert is right there. Hakuga just told me what she heard. That the traitor in our midst is you, Ayama. What nonsense! How ridiculous! The girl must have misheard. Midoriya, oh Midoriya, I was the only one who couldn't say a word to you. In that moment, only I was silent. Ayama, I stop. I can't take it. Not from you. You've been looking
You've been
gloomy.
you've,
Oh, sorry, Sam. Oh, it's just in the mood. Whew.
you've been
Wow.
looking so gloomy lately. Only you. I thought something must be wrong, so I came looking for you out here. Yes, only me. I always wanted to feel equal. At USJ, you can know, and then in the forest, each time I led them to us. Do you hear me, Midoriya? I am a despicable villain. And like the whole like cheese pieces. I know. Literally saying I know.
Wow. And not
Okay.
that I'm speechless. It's just that, like, to actually get proven
This
right.
was a bit yeah, this was better impact than having the invisible girl like saying
But
everything. She was just eavesdropping everything and knew everything.
and she knew everything, and I'm happy that what people want to throw out the window say that, oh my god, it's Winter Girl. Like, no, it wasn't her. And I'm glad that we see the full context, because people, content creators and fans and just people like to jump to conclusions without knowing the full context, and having the full context of seeing what occurred is like, okay, cool, we got the full text of what happened, and it's Ayama, and I get it. I get it. I ain't mad because he just wanted to be on equal grounds, just like Deku. He
No,
wanted
it's
to
more
have
of
a
to protect
quirk.
his own parents
No, no,
too,
no, no,
because
no,
their
no,
life was
no,
also in danger.
no, Sam.
Yeah,
Because remember, he accepted the quirk from All For One because his parents wanted to have him live a happy life. The reason that they started to be in debt is because Ayama was quirkless. He wanted to feel on the same equal ground like his other students and his classmates. So the reason they got in debt is because Ayama wanted to feel the same like others. And then once he got a quirk, they were in his depth. They were in his palm of his hand of All For One. So they had to do and listen to whatever they told him. Sorry, whatever he told them, and
but
that's
then
what he
like
said.
I mean like it's not just a not just the debt of repaying the Quarkus, but it's also like, you're
Because he could
betraying
kill
me.
his
You're
parents.
dead. It's more like a whole loan shark situation. that
Exactly, a
sort of
loan
thing.
shark right there.
And like it's
But
always been
damn,
out of panel, but
fuck.
we never seen Ayama's reaction of being disappointed in every action of the forest training, the Gunga and the Jaku, like the whole invasion of the war, the hospital and the forest. He leaked every information, but like it wasn't out of bad intentions. He wasn't like
He
a
wasn't.
whole villain this whole entire time. It was more out of fear. This was more out of like, I did this because I felt my parents were in danger.
It makes sense. Like I can't blame
I
him. I
was,
can't blame him. I can't.
but it also gives you the idea now that there was actually two people that was quirkless within the class of 1A. And remember all the times he was trying to sacrifice himself from not being able to graduate. All those times he was willing to take one for the team and everything for everybody else to pass. The class refused to let him like fail. They all helped him pass and everything. But you know what makes sense even more now? So every time he throws up, was the reason why is because this quirk wasn't his in the first place, and he was not able to control it. It's not the quirk that is his.
Yeah,
He
because
just
his body was still getting accustomed to it, to like Deku. So his
it
body
couldn't.
was
I don't think
technically.
it could.
We don't know that because technically his body was not accustomed to it because we don't know when he got his quirk. Because it says that it's once you enter UA. So maybe he got the quirk literally the same
It
time
had to
around
be
Deku.
before. Yeah, yeah. It
The
would have
same
to be
time around Deku. Not
before the
the
test.
yeah,
Before
like
the whole robot tests and everything like that. Yeah, this actually brings a lot of interest though. This is
from nearly the moment you started school here, you have honored also his every request. You even provided the forest training camp and everything. So he definitely got it before the school event. So before he entered school, he definitely got it because he felt quirkless.
it
But
also he did send clues. Everybody was on Twitter and actually he was trying to tell Deku all the clues. He knew about his situation in the first place. Ayama can also feel like I can relate to you because we were both because I was also quirkless, but I also wanted to be a hero. I actually wanted to make it with you guys, but he also felt a lot of guilt where I don't deserve this. Like I've lied and I've tricked everybody for me to be here. I didn't want to graduate because of what I've done to everybody in the class. The betrayal in the forest, Bakugo getting kidnapped, the whole civil war that actually the war that happened within Gunga Forest, the mountain and everything is because like, he felt guilt. He had all this fault because thanks to him, entire society went down. Half the heroes quit or retired or died. He blames all of it himself. And like after all this situation, how can you even admit the truth anymore? Like you blame yourself for so many people who
like
died and sacrificed.
like your chat, comment down below, write it down below if you're watching right now, because this is interesting. Because for me, I get it in Aoma's shoes because he was the same like Deku. He wanted to feel like others. He wanted to be a hero. He wanted to feel on the equal grounds, and that sucks because when you feel like you're less than others around you, you feel like you're worthless. And his parents just want to give him the work, just want to live a happy life, and for him to just feel like he's in debt to what Sam said, a loan shark. All for One literally took that in his advantage, but making him feel guilty. And his parents get a point, like it's too late to turn back, but it's never too late. You could, yes, you cannot rewrite your sins, but you could fix your sins that you messed up. It's possible. People will understand. Like Deku, he even said like you look gloomy. I had a feeling, and with that flashback that Aoyama read that paper, he felt so much relation to what Deku felt because it's literally the blueprint. They both were affected to all for one, one for all in some way now.
But yeah, it definitely brings in technically there were a few couple classmates that weren't able to get a word in for Deku to help him back into UA. And of course Ayama was one of them.
So Chad says Char says Yama was 6 to 8 years old. Yes, he wanted to be like the others, but the parents made a decision to reach out for a phone. Yes, it's technically not his fault, it's the parents. So like, but him as a young teenager, aka like he's those students are under the age of 18, they still feel guilty that they have to protect the parents because they're heroes. But at the same time, that if he disobey the orders of All for One, his parents will get killed. So he feels like that extra weight on his shoulders. So that's why he never disobeyed them. So I get it. Like, people could get mad about the traitor aspect, but
and
in
even
his
if
shoes, it's understandable. Like, as a
like
human being, you trying to save your parents from what they go through. I get it.
like now it's gonna come to the point where even if you admit the truth, the parents are gonna be locked up because they are accomplices with All for One.
Oh yeah.
They've also like, of course, you can't take back the quirk that he has now because the only person who can take away the quirk is All for One. Now we have to come to the point where the person that All for One stole the quirk from, of course, all that guilt and all the death that's happened because of this entire situation of him needing information, he would be held accountable of all the deaths that happened throughout the entire time. I sympathize with Ioma, and
Me too.
remember
And like,
he also tried to ask for help in his own way with the whole cheese. Like, yeah, I know, I want to tell you everything, but I can't. It's more, if I were to admit everything and if I were to say everything I can't, I lose everything.
bro, like,
As well as
I'm I'm starting this panel and I feel bad. Like, Hori drew it very well in page 16. When Deku said, you've been looking so gloomy lately. Only you. I thought something must be wrong, so I came looking for you. Aoyama tears, like he just looked in despair, and like he just wanted to be a shining armor hero. And like the next page, like, each time I led them to us. Do you hear me, Midoriya? I'm a despicable villain. Like, he just feels so much guilt and he feels so bad. I really am curious to see what's the next reaction. Like, yo, Hori better not switch it out, go to villains or anything. Like, I really want to see the rest of this outcome, because this is something that has been going on for 200 chapters of a thread that's been going on of what is about the heroes and about the traitor. So this is an interesting concept to know who it is, and we finally found out the confirmation. Curious to know that Deku was the first one to find out. Curious to know how's his reaction, because he's always about saving said people,
it's
saving
more like
someone.
Deku always sees people like in trouble, or also like there's something over it, like in your head where you're thinking there's something you're guilty about or this sort of stuff, but you can't admit the secret because but sometimes you just need to be there to help them when it comes to their own problems and that sort of thing. And Ayomo tried to be there for Deku, but nobody knew the truth about him and One for All quirk. But Ayama still tried to help, rely, and stuff like that in his own way. It's like, you got to keep up, you got to keep your chin up, you got to keep hope. That's sort of thing. And then we come to a moment where Deku was in need of help. Everybody was there to help him, but Ayama stand back. It's like, I can't help him. I'm still like quiet. I can't say anything. And now we're back into another situation where Ayama needs help again, yet Deku still tries to approach and wants to help Ayoma.
And even Charles, something that they brought up, is totally understandable. He's a Chelsea teenager in fear of for his parents' life. I feel sorry for Ayama. I hope All for One didn't put a bomb in him. And guess who had a bomb in them before and was given extra quirk? Lady Nagant.
But Ayama never had a quirk in the first place. He was quirkless as well.
But remember, All for One also thinks steps ahead. So maybe he put a bomb, or maybe he put a bomb in the parents as reinsurance.
It's more like, if you don't relay any information, All for One has people.
But yes, but imagine putting a bomb in the parents, or putting a bomb in Oyama, or something, or knowing that some type of paralyzed quirk or something that
there's
you
a
could activate. Fail-safe.
Having a fail-safe. Which
like,
gives him another reason why he can't admit the truth to Deku or anybody else, because if he says something, he gets killed, as well as his parents that's going to get killed right afterwards. I sympathize with Ayoma, and I don't blame him for being a traitor in a way, because he had to do what he had to do in order for his own survival, his parents' survival. And unfortunately, him keep holding on to these secrets have led to the consequences of many, many people's death. And even though, remember when they saw the whole, in their experience, the All for One versus All Might fight, he thought all right, All for One's gone. He's dead. He got taken out by All Might. Maybe I'm free. Maybe we're good. Nobody needs to know the truth. Nobody has to find out that I was quirkless in that situation. But then no, my man Shigaraki, and like to know that he possessed the All for One quirk now. All for One got released from prison. Everything is coming all up ahead, and I was like,
you and much faster and things. Yeah, you're right.
You can't escape from this anymore. No matter what you think and what everybody try to help you with, you can't hide from this secret. This secret will like kill you from the inside, and now
it will haunt you.
It comes to the point where Ayoma, like, I can't keep the secret anymore. Each time I've led them to us. So at USJ, meaning the whole training facility with the No Moon Shigaraki, Yuga, the mountain within the hospital, and as well as the evacuation and everything that happened, and then in the forest, within the forest as well. Like each time I led them to us. Do you hear me, Doria? I'm no more than a villain. All the information I've leaked within everything of you guys and the heroes, I've told it to the villains so that they had the edge and advantage. And including right now, if I don't give them this information, my parents dies, I die maybe, and we are all in danger. That's
the thing that sucks, that they're in the middle of all that. But enough about Ayama. We went in depth of how we could really have understanding like that, but also talk about our boy Todoroki trying out a new type of ninjutsu out here.
Yeah, knowing it's he knows what he is going up against, because he knows Dabi, his flames are hotter.
Yeah,
but then you have the ability where you control both hot and cold, and it helps generate one another. I think what's going on is, hot and cold mending, like a whole rotation and flexing.
Yeah,
of both hot and cold, so that you have a whole almost an everlasting type of energy of a sort. It's so like it's more of a whole controlling of both at the same time, as well as like conserving one energy to another. Remember when in Avatar, Iroh was teaching Zuko how to use thunder?
Yeah,
the whole modality of the flow of water, even though we're firebenders, but you need the maneuver of, you need to be overflowing with as water. Same thing with this, you got to flow with your fire within the water throughout your entire body, and then come back all over again. I think it's rotational enough. You actually can like be able to manipulate more fire and water, fire and ice, more energy for you, and more of a flexibility where, this ice is too hot, too cold for Dabi to go through, is for his own fire, as well as my fire can actually go through your fire.
I agree because I feel like Master Iroh is one of my favorite characters in the show, because when he explained to Zuko that yes, we're firebenders, like it says him, but he also said that you have to learn how to use the other type of bending, air, water, earth, that we don't have, and because they each have different chakras for it. And I love how Zuko was like, hey, how do you know about this? Like, oh, because if you want to use lightning, that involves all the different kind of chakras in your movement. And that's so fancy, because this is what boy Shoto's doing, because he said it that in order to achieve a body even there can be burned, he knows that his brother Dabi is much stronger with his fire, so he needs to control both sides at the same time. And I love that panel. Again, the art in that panel is just amazing.
Definitely, for sure. Like literally when Zuko said like, this sounds like a whole technique for the Avatar. I mean, yeah, you can still train the same way as an Avatar, even if you're only one bender. It helps give you more flexibility and move, and as well as a more improvement to your own abilities. Todoroki is just doing that, literally controlling both fire and ice equally. That works well together side by side instead of one over the other, like he had in the beginning. Remember how he only uses ice instead of fire to detest his father? Now, and then he starts training his fire again. Now it's almost to even match.
Yeah, because he did acknowledge that I think I control my left side just as well as my right now, because he has always been good with his right as ice, because he never used his left, as you said, because he detested his father. But now that he's been training with his father, going as a hero with both quirks, now he acknowledged that I think I can use both left and right at the same time and have both controls. So curious to see if he's going to be like our young lost, rest in peace, our boy Kurama, and learn some type of nuclear fusion. So who knows?
And then I want to switch to Bakugo's new ability, where he's trying to be like he's copying Endeavor's ability for build up and release, but he wants to do it in multiple barrage blasts. I think that's a smarter move to do, especially when if one of them miss, you at least have the other like 2 or 3 blasts can hurt you. And winter was the best time for Bakugo, because when you're in cold weather but you're in heavy clothing, you're gonna sweat a lot. We've all know this. Big guys with big jackets, we're gonna sweat a lot inside, even though it's cold as hell on the outside.
Yeah.
Which helps with Bakugo and he's in his own element, even though it feels like he's not, because it's like fire controlling nature of cold and water. No,
Agreed.
as long as he's like all bundled up and everything, and have all these heat pads and all these sweat glands, he's gonna be able to explode a lot more attacks. So props to him. He knows what he's training for.
Agree, he does, and I can't wait to see what occurs, what happens with him, and the fight as his training is gonna go, because they're currently training and they have I think a week left now, and with Deku and Bako and the other students here are training in the background. So curious to see what other type of upgrades they're gonna shoot, because our boy Mineta literally just taking out more balls of his head. So I guess that's his training to see that he doesn't bleed a lot no more. So I guess that's his training. And our boy Kaminari is just taking a break, because hopefully he needs to train more, because the more 1,000 volts or 1,000 quads he uses is the more dumb he gets. So I'm curious to see if he's been training and he could do a higher voltage now.
And then to see that Gigamakia is still asleep, hibernation mode and that sort of thing. It's all of it is just really interesting to combine everything for more. Sir, Gigamakia was more of the, like battering ram, if I could say that. Like he's just more to like eliminate most of it, and he already did his job. I don't need you anymore. If Alpha One even needed it, or Shigaraki ever needed, just like they'll just call Gigamakia and he'll be waking up and causing havoc. But we already know he doesn't need him anymore. And then having Yorizaru and Bakugo explaining 3 reasons of why,
which is very smart.
Alpha One, this all-out war is going to be happening. First one, we don't know where everybody is, even with all the no moves hangers and all the other hideouts and secret labs and stuff like that. They can all be separated. No one can track them, and that's the hard part. Second reason was that they actually know the information that Shigaraki's body was not complete. He was only 75% when they first fought him during the Gunga mountains in the forest and everything.
Yep.
That tells us that the entire classroom knows everything about the entire fight, and not just with Deku and Alpha One, but One for All, but as well as every battle strategy information that put in through that last attack. And now, because it gives us an idea, like, these adults are treating these kids as adults by giving them the information of heroes. Now, like, we're all equal terms in heroes. We can't hide any secrets from you kids anymore, because every information can help in the battle strategy for us. And the third reason, that All for One can have this fight anytime he wants. They pull the trigger. They can start wherever, whenever they want to, and the heroes are forced to head to that direction.
Yeah.
Which most of the time is not a great situation. That means environment strategy, they have it. Even if they lost the search quirk.
Which, that's nice to know, a confirmation that they know that he lost the search quirk. So now it's kind of who chooses to shoot first. Or for one,
they get to shoot first. They get to shoot first.
But what happens if they take too long? Or Dabi pulls the trigger because he's impatient. So it really is a toss up of who is the more patient or impatient one to shoot.
That's why it's like it's an all out war. Anybody can pull the trigger to start the war.
Yep.
But like, as well as who can finish the war is a different story. Because
good point.
Because like what the villains can do, they can separate where. Okay, strike right here at this time, have another one strike at this time, so that everybody's going here and distracting. You gotta go this from that, and as well as the heroes do not know which villain is which villain, that sort of thing. But I feel like for us, the readers in the manga, they're gonna they either mix it up, where like we thought we're gonna have a Dabi versus Shoto and Endeavor, that sort of thing. Nope, it could be a different sort of the classmates first that got to Dabi, because it's all separated. Nobody knows who is where and where is where and stuff, sort of thing. I think that'd be a better, more interesting spin. Have a class 1A going against Dabi first, and then we have Shoto and Endeavor to come in to fight Dabi right afterwards, let alone to just instant 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, that sort of thing, team up. It's best to like mix it up a little bit, because how story is like, oh, the classmates couldn't beat him, but then the real characters comes in to fight this matching character villains, like their own rivals. They fight this rival, they fight that rivals. I think that'd be more better, fun and interesting take. Especially it'll give the class 1A more of them to shine, more of what they've learned, what they're training for, what they've been fighting for. Yeah, they were not supposed to be the ones to beat these certain villains, but we get to see them stretch. We get to see them flex. We see them improving. They are being true heroes, and like it gives you an idea of what's to come for their own future in the prologue, epilogue of the My Hero Academia story. That's what I think in my take.
I agree. I can't say any better than that, because I agree 100% of the upcoming arcs, the upcoming matches of what All for One versus One for All sides will be going against each other. So I can't wait to see what goes with that. Sam, any last words? Because I'm ready to go to Jujutsu and see this switch on the rule.
I still think that the Invisible Girl is also a traitor. It's still, maybe she's supposed to spy on Ayama. Because remember in the last chapter, in the last page, of one said friends and not friend. And then this following chapter, it says villain, meaning only just one within the inside. Maybe it's not just one.
That's true. We cannot turn anything over. We can always know that he always has a backup plan. There's always people that think steps ahead, and maybe Ayama wasn't the only trader. Maybe there is the Invisible Girl. Maybe there's a teacher as well. Who knows?
Yeah, because I could see the Invisible Girl being his warden, so that she does not have to spill out the information. Ayama is like the most scapegoat character, because you have no losses if he gets caught in any information, that sort of thing.
Got a point there.
And the only way, like if he decides to betray us, she was she was your warden, she was your watchdog. And now like, oh hey, Midoriya, yeah, he's the traitor. He's literally misdirection. Yeah, he was the traitor all along. That sort of direction as I can.
You got a good point there, Sam. You got a good point. Mixed direction has been played, and All for One is known to do that a lot with All Might and other people. So it's possible, and sometimes people have to learn from Frieza. Misdirection by killing Broly's father and saying that he got shot by somebody else. It's possible. So sometimes you gotta learn from others.
Also, like we know Deku, he's gonna give sympathy for Ayoma, like we are right now. We can't blame him. He did what he had to do in order to survive, and we were put in a situation where it was either spill the information and let the heroes to believe this mission failed because of this and this, but really it was just me leaking the information. I still see two traders within the class 1A.
All right, so let's see and what you guys tell us in the comment section below of the My Hero Trader and everything else. But let's jump into JJK reaction of chapter 167. 167.
Let me start.
Chapter 167, Tokyo number 1, Colony Part 7. Kogane, add a rule. Make possible the transfer of points between players. This will, of course, affect the calculation of scores for rule number 8. Approve! Rule number 10. Players may transfer a number of points of their choosing to another player. Me! Kogane, give one of my points to Itadori as you wish. Hiromi has transferred 1 point. Now, neither of us will be subject to curse technique removal for 19 days. Goodbye. Hiromi, what are you gonna do now? If you don't mind, will you help us? My 2 leftover points are from the judge and prosecutor killed before coming to Tokyo. When the barrier opens, I'll turn myself in. Until then, I'll ponder my course of action besides. If I stay with you, I'll just hate myself more. Sorry, I wasn't criticizing you.
See you later. I guess we'll talk more after we finish reacting to it. Not bad. You passed. Huh? That's enough. Your Shikigami is sufficient. I see you're strong. Otherwise, I just kill you. Huh? I never knew that. What do you mean? How much do you know about the culling game? You should join us.
It's a ritual for using the cursed energy of players inside the bears. Maybe I should have mentioned Tengen. To take Japanese people to the other side so they're no longer human. Do you know Kenjaku? I knew it. A sorcerer with a connection to Kenjaku. I think what you just said is a bluff. Huh? About using players' curse energy, or rather it's for a second or third plan. I think that is for three reasons. The number of players, the different levels of player skill, and the barrier rules. Suppose 1,000 players are equally divided among 10 colonies. That means each colony
each.
has 100 each. But among the players, some like Kashimo, Hirame are much stronger sorcerers. Those two are alone have already whited out roughly 60 sorcerers. Each barrier probably has one player like that.
The strong weed out the weak early on. I sense that because the colony is just too quiet. You're saying the game will reach a deadlock quickly. Here in Tokyo number 2, that's already happened. The transferal when individual enter a colony is a way to spread them out. But primarily it's for stimulating early second awakenings in modern day sorcerers. Some die during the transfer. If the goal was using players' curse energy, a lengthy melee among many sorcerers would be best. That bit about long lasting in the rules is just a cover for the real plan. You can be certain that Kenjaku will drop a bomb when only the strong remains, and then the culling game will have served its purpose.
And then in that Chinese word, it says sit down.
Yeah.
And then in that, the other Chinese one, I don't know what it means because I was trying to look for it before, but I couldn't find it. So, but
thank you. You are something me. You wish me. Sorry, this is memory of Chinese words. Like 谢谢. What is that, mate?
I have nothing to say to it other than that. I appreciate that, Sam. Thank you.
I am Chinese, but yeah, symbols that's been used often. You tend to remember them. Okay. Yeah, it says I thank you. You humble me.
I don't know what the bomb will be, but it may drop anytime now. So I'm preparing by gathering strong allies and storing up points. I have some questions. She isn't strong. People let down their guard around women, so she tricks her marks and lures them in. And when you're done using her, you kill her for points, right? How can you say that? I would never. Riggy is my true knight. If I do a good job, he protect me. How lucky for you. Do you and your allies points total 100? Yes, of course. A new rule is going to allow players to give each other points. Give me all of yours, and I'll consider joining you. Negotiation. And then breakdown. Somebody comes in the back and tries to do little swiper, but nope. Oh shit!
Okay, like he disappeared. My man! Oof!
He literally picked him up in the shadow.
GTS.
He literally took him out the rooftop.
The dog. Oh man, yeah. Oof.
Knew it. Boom! Took him down. Did a whole slam down. That bird.
Give him
he had it out the whole time.
He seismic tossed his ass.
Yes, he did. He had it out the whole time. Hey, don't ever let me see you again. Oh, I love that. Wait, what?
You sparing her? No. Oh, snap. Okay, the knife went through the dog fist. Oh, I get it now. You were holding back. You want our points so you can't kill us. But if you don't fight to kill, you'll wind up dead. Oh, snap. Yo, someone threw an eyeball on the bomb? Wait, what the hell?
Okay, the eyeball just threw me off guard. I'm like, what the fuck did that mean? I'm like,
I think it means body parts. Like this person's curse techniques, every time you put a body part or eyeball or something that explodes. Who knows? But it comes to see that this guy has like a whole group, a mob, a whole team of people that works under him.
Huh. Good chapter though. I really dig with that chapter. I really fuck with it. I didn't give a full thoughts of what I thought about the fight because I just reread JJK past 4-5 chapters. I didn't have the chance to discuss on Shonen Ronin, But the fight between
Higuruma.
the judge and Yuji was really good.
Higuruma,
And
yeah. And
yes,
Yuji.
Hiraguma. I just don't want to mispronounce it, so I'll just say the judge, much easier for my tongue. But I love what he told Yuji in the previous chapter, saying that you never killed those people on Shibuya. You was taken over by Sukuna. He said that you shouldn't feel guilty. But he said that, yeah, I do it because of how weak I was to stop it. So I really love that. I really
Oh,
love that
it
characterization.
means Higuruma sees himself with Yuji as well, who's
I know.
someone who feels weak.
I was gonna lead into that. So like it just really relates to why the judge,
Why
aka
he spared
Ruma,
Yuji.
why he didn't want to stay with him, because he said that if I stay with you, I'm gonna feel more like shit because of how I feel bad for what I've done and what I am right now.
It's like
So,
looking in a mirror, basically. It's like,
exactly.
I
So
can't
like
keep looking at you like this.
it's very relatable. So I understand why but Higuruma didn't want to stay, but he did him the favor. He did the new rule, and he also exchanged a point so he doesn't get killed for the next 19 days. So it makes total sense, and I totally respect that. And our boy Megumi almost did no, sorry, not almost. He did a seismic toss, so that was fucking fire because that was entertaining. He literally threw the boy literally out of the room. He said, "Boom, bitch, get out the window."
Um, before we go into that full fight, it clears up the thing that Higuruma only just killed 2 civilians, and that was just the judge and the prosecutor.
Yes, correct.
All the rest of his 100 points were from sorcerers. It does help clear things up where he's not really a bad guy, but he also he's just like Yuji. Or he can see himself relating to Yuji, but it's in a sense where people are more harder than on themselves than other people would put you through. Higuruma at least like gives them the sympathy, like, all right, we can now transfer points, 1 point after another, that sort of thing. Now like you be preventing the whole, all right, if you don't gain any points, you die within a certain amount of days, which is good.
And I like how what he said. He's like, "Hey, I'll see you later." Like wasn't a goodbye. This wasn't saying like, "Hey, we'll never see each other again." This is like, "Hey, we'll probably see each other again in the future. It's a possibility." And I really like it that they had this conversation.
But what's gonna be a bad thing about that rule is that players may transfer a number of points of their choosing to another players. That means people will think twice about killing other sorcerers or beings, but you subject them to torture. Like, yo, give me all your points. Give me all your points first, and I won't kill you. I won't continue this everlasting like suffering,
Well, it's
torture,
funny.
and pain, that sort of thing.
Well, it's funny
That
that
could
you
be a
bring that
bad
up
thing.
because I was literally gonna ask you that. Like, I was literally gonna ask you that question because, like, hey, so now that people can transfer points, not technically nobody has to die. Technically, people could just literally take the points, and then after that they could kill them. But you literally answer my point. You literally
Because
answer the
like
question I was gonna ask you.
sometimes even death is a mercy compared to like torture, like but like, yeah, you may help prevent fewer deaths, but not everybody has that strong will where they can like and after they endure torture, they say, all right, I give all my points to this
Would
person,
we
this
see
evil player.
international sorcerers? A bit of chocolate.
Or they're trapped within the circle. Even I forgot his name, the paper guy said, like, think about it, there's 10 of the circles, everybody's trapped within there, each of them has 100 sorcerers, they can't move out of their circles yet, or that's sort of deadlock is what
Yeah, because
said.
I'm not sure if we were gonna see international sorcerers. I know we're gonna see sorcerers that's been around for thousands of years, for 100 years ago, that made a contract before, that was already part of the cutting games. But I'm not sure if we're gonna see a couple of sorcerers like from Russia, China,
The
or
culling game is
from
only
USA.
established within Japan.
Yes,
at
just
the
with
moment.
Japan.
They said that because
Unless people travel, because unless people that was part of the cutting game that made a contract from 1,000 years ago, but said spirit or said cursed spirit travel to Russia or anything, but they was called to be part of the cutting game. So maybe that's the case. That's a possibility. But I don't see any other people traveling willingly to come and join the cutting games. That I don't know.
for paper dude to know who Kenjaku is another story. And I was like, so he's not the same person, or he was already a sorcerer, or he may have been. He could still be an old cursed sorcerer that's possessing his body in that sort of way.
I
And
think
that's
it's
how
a
he's pointing out these questions.
I think it's an old curse sorcerer that was already contracted to the calling game because he knows about Kenjaku. So for you to know about Kenjaku and know about the actual rules and saying that, hey, this is a bluff, like, hey, I know what's the truth about it.
And then, but he also said like and he only gave a hypothetical plan saying like suppose 1,000 players or among equally divided within the 10 colonies. Of course, we know there's more than 1,000, and participating human players could choose to participate if they stay within the circle or they go out and come back in to participate. But at the same time, the reason why the culling game did not reach outside of the world, it could also be like, the amount of power or the amount of energy or curse technique. And there's also the establishment of why is Kenjaku in China.
Exactly what the chat just brought up, Chocolate Eggs, but wonder what the group is that Kenjaku is about to talk in China.
But like, of course, like the whole culling game, people would think it's the strong weeding out the weak, and this guy, the paper dude, he's predicting like, yeah, it is about weeding out the weak, but it's also establishing out who is even stronger than strong. Yeah, you could be the last man standing within the group of 100, but I'm not dropping a bomb until we find out who are the individual within the hundreds to, you have to be able to adapt and be stronger than that.
Do you think this is a China government or do you think this is a China sorcerers?
It's definitely a China sorcerer's family. Because remember, there was 3 main families within Japan. 2 of them currently went down. Gojo without Gojo, no Gojo family. My technically destroyed the entire not Fushiku.
I forgot the name.
Technically, his family.
Yes,
they're already wiped out. We don't need to care anymore. They're wiped out. Should we even care anymore?
They did. They are Dino Snaps, so they're dead. So
all we got left is Kenjaku's family himself, and now that's even like they're full of worse and worse people. But we can definitely see him doing a partnership with China's cursed sorcerer family and their names.
It was a Zenny clan.
Thank you, Chocolate.
It's like damn. It's because they died for like 5 months ago, and we already forgot their names. Like, fuck, what was the name? But it's just
dead. We don't need to care about them no more.
But it just makes total sense that Kenjaku is going to China sorcerers on family, or the school, or the government. But it just makes it feel like it has to be a family because it looks like they're circle around. But also, government has those type of chairs too. And like the way they say sit down, they know who he is, and for him to say thank you, like Sam said, it just makes you question like, what is he doing? Like, what does he have planned? What's his reason for him to be here? Like so many fucking questions. Like I'm just more curious to know what's the outcome of this. Like Kenjaku reminds me right now a bit like All for One. Like he has plans ahead, even though he's been having these plans for fucking thousands of years. And then having Yuji as a kid, like what does all this connect to? I know I just actually like 5 different questions, Sam, and chat as well. But what are your thoughts about this?
There's a lot within this because like the whole point of the calling game was, if you were to think about, it's just to establish cursed sorcerers from awakening. The second awakening is what they said, like just so that we can weed out the weak and only bring out the strong. But why do you need the strong for? And then the strong is for someone, those are people that Kenjaku needs for this certain reason, and he think his reason is to like when only the strong remains, and then the culling game would have served its purpose. Does he want like an army of strong cursed sorcerers to go other people, or to control them? Because we already know like Kenjaku had planted so many seeds within the entire like Japan, from his longevity over hundreds of years of life. From one brain to another brain, planting this seed to this seed. Oh, I'm gonna have Yuji's gonna be my son or kid from there, and I'm gonna plant more painting sorcerers and everything. His entire plan, it's really hard. What are you gonna do with strong sorcerer if that was the main goal? Like, does he want an army? Does he want international relations because he's in China that way? A lot can definitely happen. But at least they can predict there's gonna be a bomb happening.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
It can drop anytime. and he's preparing strong allies for it and storing points in every points and stuff. There's just a lot of theories now. So it's like saying Kenjaku has a weapon of mass destruction that nobody knows about. He's collecting strong troops for his army. But now it comes to the point where international relations, do you need to partner up with them to go against other people in the world? Or is there something more stronger? Is there a worse threat than him? A lot of questions. It's just...
It really makes you wonder, because I don't recall Kenjaku telling us, the audience, in the manga, what was his plan. It's more panels of who's talking to people, and then we later have to theorize what his plan is, and then we later find out what the fuck the plan is, and then we be like, what the fuck just happened? And then after that, rinse and repeat of like, okay, so we have to...
Because we already know, even if he has a whole bomb and he has an army and he's able to take over the world, he's going to backstab the entire thing out of it and start clean, refresh. This man is like, loves to do like a whole rinse and repeat situation. He's like all for one as well. Like, I just want to see what happens. I just want to control everything and let them be themselves. And then I'll destroy everything and start all over again. That sort of thing. It's like...
So Chocolate brings something up very well, because I also am curious about it. What does Sukuna get involved in all this? Because we know Sukuna was the hierarchy back thousands of years ago, as him as a curse spirit, because he was a regular human back then, but then over time he became curse spirit.
He became like a demon,
demon or everything. So I don't recall, Sam, I don't know, or chat, remind me, does Sukuna and Kenjaku have some type of connection or relation?
Yeah. Remember, like,
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking.
When Sukuna met with Kenjaku, they technically did not fight. They didn't even fight. They were just talking. And especially when the servant that was with Kenjaku during that time, the white-haired girl or guy, he was like, "Oh, you're here. Like, why are you here?" Like,
no, but I'm asking, like,
on a plan, though.
Are they on the same page? Like, do they agree with what they're doing, or do they each have their own goals, and they're gonna see if they ever fight against each other again or something?
They have their own goals, but Kenjaku is helping Sukuna with his own goals. I guess, you ever had those big strong dudes who fought so many people and he comes out on top, and then he meets up with a whole smart maniacal person? It's like, oh, you want a good fight, right? You want to fight the best of the best of the best. Give me some time and I'll find you the best of the best so you can like entertain your boredom.
So the only person I could think of right now when you said that, it was Thorkill and Ashkelon.
Yeah, and like Gojo would have been a good contestant for Sukuna if he was in full strength, but you know, why just Gojo? Why do you want to stay the layers within Japan? And from him going to China, like, so what does China have? What curse sorcerers do they have? Who is their number one?
But I agree with Chocolate, because, like, are they on the same page still? Because we haven't seen Sukuna re-emerge in a long time.
Which we don't really need to after Shibuya argument. He already caused the pain and destruction. It's more like it's his own whim. Does he wants to entertain all right, I need to be entertained again. I want to fight. Because remember, even when he came out, he fought with the volcano dude. He killed so many messengers. He fought with Fujiguro's giant
stone guy
thing.
Yeah.
Like, he just wants to fight and have fun.
Yeah.
It seems like he has no other alternative motive. He just wants to keep fighting, and he wants to prove that, come on, can I have someone that can actually beat me? Or there's a good chance to, as I'm willing to put my life and death in this sort of entertainment and fun, which is very scary because Sukuna could be seen as the human while everybody else is the ant. And he is just stepping on people without any remorse and sympathy or anything. He just wants some ant that could at least be as strong as a human, that can match me in fighting strength and everything. And Kenjaku is the most maniacal, evil man that might actually do that. How about instead of one person, how about a whole entire army and group of people? And then maybe I'll let Gojo come out.
And plus,
so
I'm also still wondering, while you were talking, I'm still looking at the last page, we have a fucking eyeball falling off the sky. What the fuck does that mean too?
So it just gives us an idea that this paper dude he's an army. He has a mob or gangsters
because
under him.
He has goons. Under him because one tried to do a little swiper on our boy Megumi, but that did not work at all because they literally did a whole pedigree on him, just threw him out the rooftop. So my boy was literally just gone, and literally just did a whole seismic toss, like Sam said. So it's like, I get it, but now they're both serious. Megumi's serious to fight, and now the paper dude, I forgot what's the name. They're both serious to fight and see what's the turn of events. But the girl, we don't see her because she said, I will never want to see you again. And plus Megumi looks straight up serious. And he's not afraid of killing either. Because he said it on the last chapter or 2 chapters ago, that Megumi is not afraid to get the 100 points either. So if he has to kill, he's willing to kill.
What's bad now is the wolf got killed, unfortunately. Remember when like the shadow creatures gets... Oh, actually, no. Okay, still alive. When the shadow creature gets killed, they're gone forever, but their powers goes into the other Shigami's power and that sort of thing. But
and plus the wolf was one of his favorites.
No, he's not dead. The wolf's not dead. He's just yipping because he got stabbed from his mouth and that sort of thing. The only way that Megumi can save him is just go back to my shadow. I'll call you once you fully heal, like a Pokemon battle. But if he dies, he dies.
Pokemon battle.
That's how I see it. But the thing is, like, he's now hesitating to kill because remember, it's like, if you don't fight to kill, you end up dead. The reason why he doesn't want to kill is I need your points. I need your points. Remember the whole, I don't have to kill you, but I could torture you until you give me all your points, and then I kill you and get that 5 extra points because you're a sorcerer.
You're right.
There's a whole limitation for adding this rule, and that's why, like, that's not actually a good thing. The whole transferring up on points. Yeah, sure. If you meet a group of good people that's willing to donate 1 point, where okay, we get to live for another 17 more days. You open up with, whatever. It doesn't matter. You live for 19 more days, but what happens in that 19 days is what's gonna happen in that 19 days. You're still getting hunted. You can't live forever. There's only limited supplies of food, water, and everything. You still have to kill. And other people will, and like, if you're not gonna kill you, we're gonna have to torture you first, so for you to give me your points, and then I can kill you, which also entitles to, like, okay, I can torture you all you want, and you don't want to give me your points, I'll torture someone else that you can't live without, and that you can be seeing pain until you give me your points, and then I kill you both just to put more points into your pocket. It leaves so much evil intent.
Oh, it definitely does.
Bad consequences to happen with that one rule alone.
And when you have these type of sources that have no problem killing and no problem torturing and no problem literally doing whatever they want, they could literally figure shit out and literally tell them, like, hey, give me the points and I want to kill you, and literally just say that and literally give the points and boom, you're dead. So it's taking a lose-lose type of situation. Like this helps the good people, but this also helps the bad people to do what they want more, and more killing and suffering for those insane motherfuckers type of sorcerers too. So
exactly.
Really,
like if these guys are willing to kill, torture is just as worse, just as bad.
Yeah, it's not that far off either. So like, damn,
because like, remember, they even established even killing as a type of mercy, but now like it's like, yeah, now it's no longer a mercy. Now is no longer an option because I need your points.
Yeah, because now if you're a person that has 5 points or 1 point, but the person you're about to kill has 60 points, you can already accept, hey, give me 60 points. Or give me 55 points and I won't kill you. But then you can just kill him and then get those points.
No. It doesn't work like that. The rule says a player can choose to transfer the points. Meaning, like, you can't just kill this guy and you get the points.
No, I'm saying that.
Has to be willing
no. What I'm saying is that if that person has 60 points, right? Mm-hmm. That person has 5 points that wants to kill him. He has to torture that person and tell him, like, look, if you just give me those 55 points, you keep 5 points, you don't have to die. And then what the person could do is accept those 55 points and they kill him and they get the other 5 points because he just killed a sorcerer. So it literally is still a win-win situation / lose-lose situation for anybody's perspective.
It's mainly whoever had the upper hand that's able to control everything it's automatically living. It doesn't matter even if he doesn't get the 60 points. The other person dying, you get 5 points. You prolong your life and you're much more closer to make up a new rule for yourself for that 100, So even if people like don't want all these points, they could just, all right, I'll just use my 100 points to make a rule to do this so and so, and like, I save myself in even worse situations. the reason why Fujigumi is after this man. He's probably the one that had the most point. He's now the new person who has the most points, since he's the gang leader of this whole group. He's not a solo player like Hirogumi. Um, Honestly, yeah, it's only like the survival of the fittest. If you're a solo player that can get all these points all you want easily, and you're that OP, nobody will be coming to catch you. But he's the hunter, while everybody else is the prey. While the prey can gather up in groups in order for them to protect each other and that sort of day. Yeah, I mean, I'm liking the culling game a lot because it really does establish different groups where
same.
Weak sorcerers can gather together and prolong their life, but there's only so much you can do when you're a group. You'll have so much more weak spots, more vulnerable people can die. Whereas a solo person where nobody else has to die, it's just me, myself, and I. And wherever I go, I choose to go. And if I were to kill this person, I just kill it because it's me, my own survival against everybody else's own survival, that sort of thing.
I'm on the same page because it just sucks that people think that this is a slow arc or it's not as built up as Shibuya. But I like build up. We here on the panel, and our community likes build up and likes the lore and what it continue adding more of the rules, more of the aspect, and more of the kind of tournament of power that they're kind of doing. So I'm really digging this, and the more rules they're going to add.
I like it even more because you have these rules. It's because with these rules, you get to, like, instead of a whole free world building world,
you're kind of like restrained in a way.
But when you're restrained to use what you can within this entire world and this rules and environment, compared to no rules and no nothing, anything can happen. It's so cluttered. It's so like overwhelming with ideas and overwhelming with things that can and can't happen, and it doesn't it's too out of control. It's too unlimited and everything. It's hard to write anything like that. But when you set yourself all these standards and rules, being able to think outside of the box to work with these rules with you and or against you makes a better storytelling and thinking. And at least Gege explains every story and every backstory. He's good at this. He knows how to give you, I understand. For a person who doesn't seem to understand what these rules, I can reread this like, okay, I understand these rules now. And I appreciate Gege for this. He knows how to write these stories, backstories, and explaining the rules to this world.
And yes, for what Chocolate said, this will be the longest arc of JJK. And 2, this arc is technically building within itself. The characters are technically building the arc. Usually, the villain or usually the heroes has already built the arc throughout the time. But technically, during the arc itself, the characters are adding the rules. The people are meeting each other, and they are building more of the rules and restraint, and they're doing the teams. So the arc is building within itself, and that's what I love. Because other arcs that we have seen in other type of shonen, it is already planned out or laid out. This one is technically folding within itself, and that's what I'm really enjoying.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it would be actually a really cool theory that how Gege writes this. He already has all this established rules, and now he's like, okay, which character will make this rule? Which character that do? How are we gonna get to develop? How are we gonna maneuver out through there? How are we gonna maneuver out through this rule and they can do that rule? Until last rule, and then however many chapters left is how we end the culling game. I think that would be a really cool way to maneuver and go into that direction of who's gonna make this rule, who's gonna make that rule. It would be good guy, bad guy.
I do know John Festa is at the end of this month, and they usually do some interviews with some of the mangaka. So hopefully we whoever does the interview this time asks him how he has been building the cunning game and how he writes it, because I'd love to know for myself as a creator and everything, just to know, like Sam said, does he already have the rules planned out, but he just has to see which character is gonna write it down or say it, or how are we gonna have each interaction, because that'd be very interesting.
Yeah, honestly, that's great. That's actually a really cool idea to write a story, in my opinion. As a story writer myself, I think it's a really more fun. This is why I say I don't like to have free writing. I can write whatever I want and restricted everything. unrestricted of anything. I actually want the rules, and what kind of world am I limited to? How can I think outside the box for it? That's how you write a great story. It's whatever the story that you can. It could be comical. It could be very intense.
And plus, you don't break it out of the power system. It can like 7 daily cents. I'm sorry, I just cough. That was a long
No,
cough. Of my...
exactly right.
I'm sorry, that's a
Like
long
you
cough.
can also limit the amount of power that's being used, and as well as strategy. And if it's not power to overwhelm another person who is also overpowered, use their smarts, use the technique, use different strategies. That's the best way of fighting. That's the best like maneuver and writing ever in fight scenes. That's what I think. Better than just muscle brawl fighting and overpower this one, overpowering this one. Be smart about it. How you want to fight.
I definitely agree, but we did discuss JJK review and reaction very well, very in depth. And do you have any last thoughts, Sam? Because I feel like we cover our review, our thoughts, and our theories of what overall this chapter gave us and what could come in the next couple of chapters. Have any last thoughts about that?
So this paper guy has a lot of a good couple of henchmen, I would say, and like some that's not overpowered but just to be used. Like the Scorpion Girl was to be bait other players in to either join me or I kill you for points. As apparently there's one of them where if I drop an eyeball or body part, I can make it explode in front of you, which is a very deadly experience to go through right now.
It's definitely because you learn having eyeball, and then there's a boom.
Because
So
it doesn't even have to be your own body parts. It could be like, okay, all these victims that we've killed to collect points, you just gave me ammunition to do explosion of everything. Isn't that so much worse?
it is definitely interesting because this. It's like just to know that the eyeballs just did an explosion. It's just to know that we don't see the building that we're in, so it just shows the panel of birds flying off. So it's definitely nearby, but not close enough to show us the panel of. Like we know Megumi's not dead, but we know that Megumi something happened. So he either duck or ran or duck somewhere, or went inside his shadow.
Have the advantage too, because we could, for all we know, this boss was doing the last kill. You know, just for him to gather points.
Yeah.
So that and.
So it could go whichever way, but overall, this chapter was good. I was happy to have a conversation with Sam and overall JJK since I haven't had my time to fully dive into the whole discussion of JJK itself since I've been gone for a couple weeks of work. And overall, I can't wait to see what Yuji does next since he got his job done to have the conversation with the judge, aka Higurumi, and to make the new rule.
He just needs to find Megumi next because he already found.
That's true. That's true. He has to go back to Megumi now.
He needs to find a way to regroup with Megumi.
And I'm curious to see what other characters we get as side characters to come in and join the fight. Or overall, what is Megumi gonna do? Is he gonna kill, or is he gonna kill the girl? Because he did say that
if I see you next time, I'm gonna kill you. No, you know he's serious, but at the same time, it's a bluff. We don't know if she killed two, that means she has points. And Megumi like, all right, I'll spare your life if you give me all your points.
It'll be interesting to see, but overall, guys, let us know what you guys thought about in the chat below of JJK, My Hero, and Kaiju number 8. And Sam, since I know that you read more of the chapters today, do you have a chapter of the week of the first issue of Weekly Shonen Jump of 2022?
So here's the thing. I don't know if I could give it. JJK was cool because it gives me a lot of information. Also establish Higuruma. How I can't wait to see him again much later within the arc now, because I think this was the best way to. All right, this is enough Higuruma. Let's switch to Megumi, write other characters, and so on and so forth. It was good. My Hero Academia. As from the reaction as we see, I was still shocked when I know being revealed as the traitor.
Same.
But at the same time, it wasn't as the most overwhelming chapter for me, especially when previous chapter, the ghost girl was a traitor all along. And then this following chapter, this guy, all right. So we knew that they were establishing who the traitor is within 1A, UA, and then it's still more training until the real Shigaraki fight. It's just to help prolong before everybody get their own information before we go into the last all-out war. It's being established. I actually do like where the new mangas are coming in with Ayashiman. That's been pretty fun. It's been comical. It's
I
been has
do.
its moments.
I do want to read Ayashimon and Doron, the Doron, which I'm tired of these fucking DOR names because there's so many out there. Yeah.
It's been okay. It's been your standard, I have you're my pet, but also as like a weapon that's also OP, and I'm OP in physical, you're OP in spiritual. Okay, let's do this. We can work together to fight other evil spirit men. I've read this. It feels like you read this before. You're just like trying to see what's different. What else more can you show me before else? Like if there's nothing any different, you're in danger of getting axed. And then Unluck has been fun. They're still doing their own thing with this fight, but it's nothing new. It's slowing down for me in a way. So it's Mashal, because that's also kind of in the mud.
Yeah, for a lot of people,
it's been using it's been on this arc for so long, and it's also like, not enough about the side characters where it's more interesting enough where you want to fight. Too much more of the villains getting their own story more than the side characters are. Protect Me Shugemura, comical, fun. They did the whole Yu-Gi-Oh reference too into that chapter. Sakamoto Days, it's been good. The whole like every once in a while we're gonna choose certain characters that we feel that's popular that's gonna be joining the Sakamoto group, and like we'll just continue on to the story.
Yeah, I'm behind on Sakamoto Days, Masha, Under Unluck, and I think that's about the 3 ones I really want to catch up on. And Miniatures Occur I just cut up as well, but I cannot do my chapter of the week because I didn't read too much. But I will say my chapter of the week before Sam says his is for me My Hero. That because I only read Kaiju No. 8 in My Hero and JJK from the current chapters of the Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 1 of 2022 is My Hero, because even though we got the full revealed not the one without context last week that people want to judge, but I'm happy I had it. I understand where his shoes are coming from, or where his light of brightness of happiness in the world, because I get it. When you're not the same Eco Brown, because trust me, I've been there in my life before. When you're not the same as others, but you have to understand you gotta be your own person, your own shoe. You gotta walk your own path, and at the end of the day, you gotta be you. Because look where you are now. You literally have to choose: either have your parents get killed, or literally have your friends get killed. So it's one or the other, my guy. So he is in a predicament, that's for sure. But yes, Sam.
For me, it might be Magu-chan, mainly because they did a Star Wars reference.
Word!
They did a Star Wars reference.
That's pretty dope.
And
that's pretty
funny.
Cute.
It's the I am your father kind of reference.
Oh my god, that's adorable. That's adorable.
But then it was all the fun jokes.
It's up to chapter 70? God damn. Yeah. Wow. 70 chapters. Oh,
they just had their own they had the whole popularity poll thing, and I'm surprised at who was number 1 actually. I'm having fun with Magu-chan. I love the references. I love all the new story that's coming out. They all have their own small references and that stuff like that. They had a funny, witty take that I understand. So I would give this chapter of the week to Magu-chan, because it is.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad that we gave some love to Magu-chan. Got a destruction, so it's pretty nice that people go should check it out. It's on 70 chapters, and me and Robocos on chapter 68. I don't know how, so many questions there. But definitely, let us know down in the comment section below of chat, My Hero Academia, Kaiju No. 8, and JJK, what you guys thought about it, and let us know what we said about the news / announcement in the beginning of the video. That what other series would you guys want us to discuss of Weekly Shonen Jump? We have Masha, not Masha, Under Unluck, Mission to Curve Family, One Piece will be down the road, so don't worry about that. Other series you guys want to discuss that would be good for conversational aspect and theories and everything else. So please let us know. And other than that, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Everything else is down below in the description where you can find us in the links. All social media of myself and Sam and the team is down below. Other than that, guys, see you guys in the next one.
Yes.